Like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
Former AFL player Andrew Lovett jailed for 8 months for repeatedly assaulting then-girlfriend by Adam Cooper. March 17, 2022, 1:46 p.m. Save login, register or subscribe to save articles for later. Share normal text size, larger text size, very large text size. Former Essendon footballer Andrew Lovett has been jailed for 8 months for a prolonged campaign of physical and psychological violence against his then-girlfriend, which included repeated assaults, spitting at her, pouring beer over her, threats and abusive messages. Lovett committed 14 separate acts of violence against Melanie Rowe between February 2020 and December last year, including 2 attacks where he knocked her out, once by punching and kicking the woman when she was in the shower, and the other by choking her and pushing her over. Andrew Lovett, pictured outside court in 2011, has been jailed for 8 months. Credit: John Woutstrom. Ms. Rowe and Lovett were in a relationship at the time, and the violence escalated to the point that on June 8 last year, he choked her and pushed her against the bath, knocking her unconscious. When she came to, she took a kitchen knife to defend herself in the fear she would be killed, and drove away as Lovett ran after her car. In the months afterwards, Lovett sent Ms. Rowe texts and messages through social media, had his brother contact her, and made unwelcome visits to the woman's home, until he was arrested in December. Lovett, 39, who played 88 games for the Bombers from 2005 to 2009, has served 100 days in custody and must spend at least another 4 months in prison. On his release he must complete a 1-year community correction order with conditions that he be treated for alcohol, drug, and mental health problems. As he sat in custody and watched an online hearing in Dandenong Magistrates Court on Thursday, Magistrate Jason On raised concerns the former footballer's offending escalated in seriousness, and described Lovett's conduct as violent and controlling over a protracted period. Andrew Lovett, playing for Essendon in 2009. Credit: Vince Caligiuri. Mr. On said the crimes took the woman to the darkest and saddest times of her life. Ms. Rowe said she was relieved her ordeal was over. "I'm so relieved that this chapter has closed at the moment," she told Channel 9. Ms. Rowe, a former police officer, last week told the court she was haunted by the rage she saw in Lovett's eyes, was plagued by flashbacks and anxiety, and continued to live with emotional trauma. She recalled that she fell head over heels for Lovett when they met, but that it didn't take long for the fairy tale to turn into a horror story. "He broke me in every single way when he took off his mask and revealed his true self. He promised me the world and delivered me nothing. Nothing but torture and heartache," she said. During Lovett's campaign of violence, Ms. Rowe lived in constant fear, used makeup to cover bruises and was embarrassed, as it was her role as a police officer to work with family violence victims. "It showed me that family violence does not discriminate, but I was stuck in a cycle and I could not get out," the woman said in her victim impact statement. On Thursday, the magistrate said, "This was terrifying, ongoing, oppressive physical violence. It was controlling and manipulative behavior. This was serious and sustained family violence. It was concerning that it was escalating over time. This family violence cannot be tolerated in our society." Lovett pleaded guilty to 24 charges, including multiple counts of assault. His crimes also included smashing Ms. Rowe's phone, punching her and throwing beer on her over 4 weeks in 2020. After an argument in January last year he sent her the message, "I hope you, your mum and your nan pass away, you see." The woman's grandmother was ill at the time. Then in April last year, he spat in the woman's face, poured beer over her and kicked her while she was on the floor. He again spat at her when drunk after attending the Essendon Collingwood game on Anzac Day. This was terrifying, ongoing, oppressive physical violence. Magistrate Jason On defense counsel David Grace Quebec, on Thursday said Lovett abused alcohol and cocaine but said the relationship with Ms. Rowe was toxic, and much of the violence developed from the jealousies displayed by both parties. Mr. On challenged the lawyer on the point and said of Lovett, He is the one who has reacted in the way he's reacted. Mr. Gray said his client was remorseful, had apologized to his former partner and no longer used alcohol or drugs. But prosecutor Andrew Spags admitted Lovett's remorse and insight were limited and that while in custody had engaged in victim blaming and minimized his actions. Lovett was traded to St Kilda in 2010 but was sacked by the Saints when charged with rape. The footballer was acquitted of the charges at a county court.